Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is I, Jade, and I am back after, spending an absurd amount of time in my hole playing Fire Emblem Three Houses. It's a great game, play it, but, take your time, don't be like me, and rush it and try to fucking play the entire game in the span of only a few weeks. Your life will freaking thank you for it. Your social life, your family, and any significant others you have out there, multiple apparently, according to me, will thank you for not sacrificing them on the altar of Fire Emblem. But that's not what this video is about. It's about Black Clover, and the thing about it that really makes me want to be harsh, and that's effectively the fact that I feel like it's such a freaking waste of potential. It could be so much better, but it's not. It has a lot of interesting concepts and ideas that, if expanded upon, could be so fucking interesting. And there's a part of me that recognizes that, which is why I can't help but riff on Black Clover all the time. It's kind of a meme among certain people I know that, it's Jade's favorite anime. Because I tend to fixate on it in a certain way. And part of that isn't just me. Part of that's the fact that it's one of my most commented videos due to its age and the fact that Black Clover fans get really fucking defensive when you say anything bad about Black Clover. One of the things that got me thinking about it was a video, and I forget the exact title. It was something like old anime openings versus new anime openings, and in that video the Black Clover opening came up, and the old anime fan side basically said, "Stop trying to force that show on us." And I was like, oh my god, I get it. Yeah, but enough rambling. Let's get into the core meat of my idea. So yeah, the thing about Black Clover's lack of utilizing its own potential, I was struck by, certain things about its art style and just its setting. Like, the idea of it is a very interesting idea, which is why I think a lot of people initially gravitated towards the series. It's a kingdom of magic where, magic is everything and everybody knows how to use magic. You've got this very bleachy squad, Magic Knight squad people with freaking captains who are super strong and shit. And I can't help but feel like if I was 14 or 15 again and I was watching this, I would eat this shit up, man. You've also got Asta, who's Shonen MC EXE. His whole thing, never give up, work hard, grow, the type of shit you want young kids to look forward to in a shonen protagonist, or the type of things that make you admire a character. You've got Yuno, the archetypical rival character, because you've gotta have your Sasuke in the story, or rather somebody who's like him. Funny fact about that, digressing a little bit, is that Sasuke's whole presence in Naruto was a result of Kishimoto's editor telling him that Naruto needed a rival character, because rival characters were really big at the time that Naruto came out. So even in the case of something as old as Naruto, it feels like people, manga artists and people in the business, are inserting characters like these because they know that these characters are popular. And hell, I love a good rival character too. But I guess the thing about Yuno that makes him just so unbearably bland compared to rival characters like Sasuke, like even Sasuke, even though Sasuke gets a lot of shit, I think, there's certain things about him that were done really well, is that Yuno's just so unbearably uninteresting. All he ever does, or his whole presence in the story, as far as what I've read up to that point or seen as well on the anime, is just being better than Asta at fucking everything, and just being, stoic, good-looking guy who's there to just be the dude that everybody kind of believes in but doesn't believe in Asta, which is a powerful concept when you're dealing with the rival character. But when there's nothing much else to him, he feels more like a plot device than a character. And I feel like that was the point I was trying to get across in my original video, with not just Yuno, but with like all the fucking characters, that they're all come off as extremely tropey and like they're there for a very specific purpose / role, and the mangaka doesn't know what the fuck to do with them outside of that. And the shame with that is that like those initial qualities have potential, especially if you flesh them out and you make them a bit more, you know, interesting outside of that, or you methodically kind of build and fill out these characters so that you can make the audience, you know, think, oh, there's a lot more to this person than I first thought. But you run into a situation where every episode you've got the characters running around doing their thing, or, you know, you have one character who's just always fucking eating, or, you know, that's, you know, Charmy and her whole shit. That's, you know, her just eating all the fucking time, food. And, you know, while she's cute, all I could think was, man, be interesting if maybe they did a little bit more than have her just be just random comic relief eating character girl. But yeah, another aspect that I just felt was just extremely wasted on this story is just not really going deeper into the magic system. And I know there are other YouTubers who have quote unquote said that, you know, Black Clover's, you know, magic system is one of the deepest or the best in shonen. I highly disagree with that. I think arguably other shonen have had far more intriguing or just outright better explained or better understood magic systems than fucking Black Clover. If you look at something like Full Metal Alchemist, the first thing we get in the story is equivalent exchange, which is just a core, like a very core, simple yet complex rule of how alchemy works, and it gives you a framework for how the story will deal with alchemy in various situations. Or even something like Naruto. Like, if you look up any Naruto lore video or any Naruto ability explains video, the shit is extremely interesting and fascinating, surprisingly. Where it's how these various abilities work or are put together based on the relative understanding of how these things work in universe is very clear, and people can, like, you know, have a mental image or just a contextual understanding of how everything just kind of fits together. Whereas in Black Clover, you never have a moment, or as far as I've, you know, gotten in this series, you never have a moment where the characters actually just sit down and explain the various forms of magic and, you know, what magic can do and what its limitations are. It's just XYZ character uses magic. Oh, it's creation magic. He's making physical objects with his magic. It's like, okay, I mean, that's cool and all, but it feels like the manga artist can just show up and just pull any kind of shit out of his ass as far as like what magic can and can't do based on any relative scenario or situation he needs. The only thing about it, I think, and I just remembered this off the top of my head, is that, or how the grimoires work in Black Clover are based around the person in question, but it never really goes into super detail on, okay, how, you know, person's personality affects, you know, the development of their magic. And yeah, that's another aspect of Black Clover that's just, man, there's so much potential here. But, you know, it's all about let's just be popular with the audience. Let's not put in any real effort to make this fucking amazing like it could be. And I know people are gonna want to jump down my fucking throat for even addressing this, or, you know, saying that I don't feel the way they do about a series they really love. And trust me, I understand. You know, I've had people fucking talk shit about, you know, things that I like, but the point of this isn't to say that I think Black Clover is the worst freaking thing in the universe. Like, when I thought about it, and I've said this to other people before, Black Clover to me is like a 5. It could be a lot better, but I think it does a lot of things really well. and I understand why some people like it, right? And there's nothing wrong with liking it. It's just the fanatical and really angry response you get from its fans whenever you do mention anything negative about it. Like, I got this one comment that went something along the lines of, and I quote, "Okay, go up to the studio and run it by yourself," right? It's basically insinuating that, oh, well, Mr. Smart ass man, if you've got all the ideas and all the brilliant suggestions, why don't you fucking make the anime? You go up and suggest your ideas and whatever, right? Which, I don't want to make this video much longer than it needs to be by explaining why this idea is bullshit, but I'll give you the TLDR. Just because, I'm not in the industry or I don't make a certain thing doesn't mean I don't have the right to criticize something. Just because I can't paint doesn't mean I can't tell you when I think a painting is lackluster or isn't what I think it could be or isn't as good as it should be, right? You don't need to be a mechanic to tell when a car is broken. But yeah, that's all I had to say. I'm going off the cuff, so if it sounded rambly, especially for the first part, since that's how it felt to me, thanks for listening to my rambly BS. I really just needed something to, put on wax so I could feel more productive after my Fire Emblem whole thing. I still haven't finished, my route in the game yet, but I will get back to it eventually. Just need a fucking break, because I'm not the type of person that can just, go at something for an absurdly long, period of time and just single-mindedly hit at it unless I feel like it's, extremely productive, and the nagging feeling just was getting to be unbearable. But yeah, thanks again, and I'll see you next time.